Welcome to Benaya Foods, your trusted supermarket where quality meets affordability. From everyday essentials to beauty products, we have got you everything you need under one roof. But that's not all. We take pride in producing our own high-quality mealie meal and nutritious soya beans, ensuring you get the best straight from us to your table. With great prices, friendly service, and a commitment to excellence, shopping has never been this easy. Step in today and experience convenience like never before. Benaya Foods, the Royal Pantry.
Welcome to yet another episode of Pass and Move, your number one soccer podcast in the land. Podcast. This is the leading podcast brought to you by Benaya Foods. I'm a partner to the Amakhulu Eswathembileyo akule esinye but abafuna sebafuna khona la abafuna ukubuya sebancane. And today I've been graced by one of the legendary pundits we have Konapa eZimbabwe, not Wobulawa, but born bred Wobulawa. I went to primary school in Kulumani, high school in Pohoma High. The man who wears many hats. Our mama's chartered market. Hey, balaleli kulu le. Big chartered market you has. So today, many choose abapaglis abeskiyo. You correct. Say,
yes.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. And how are you? And I hope our viewers are all feeling good.
They always, they always are good.
Yes.
They always expect this show because they know we bring the best. No mediocre, just the best.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you, Mr. Nkani?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in a good space. I'm happy. Yeah.
I hope I did justice to the introduction.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I know you wear many.
Probably I'm following up after the biblical Joseph, who had a coat of many colors. Yeah, maybe my hats are many as well. Yeah, for namesake.
Yeah, but today we're talking about strictly football.
All right.
Not your other.
Right.
Yeah. Strictly football. I know you're a staunch Liverpool fan.
Unapologetic.
So I got you the good time. Yes. Liverpool is not playing today.
Yes, it's playing tomorrow. And at the moment we are cruising
nicely.
Yes, on top of the world.
Yeah, yes. I can see. It shows on your face. You're glowing.
It's Liverpool. You never walk alone.
Never walk alone. Let's talk today. You're also not walking alone. I'm right here with you.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Liverpool. You know, Liverpool is one team that has understood the concept of brotherhood, the concept of discipleship, the concept of working together as people.
Yes, sir.
You know, no one should suffer alone, and no one should enjoy alone. So that's why we say you never walk alone. So it speaks of a community. It speaks of people, of Ubuntu, the togetherness. Yeah, so that's only one team that has mastered that philosophy, and that's Liverpool.
I get that. Yeah. Here locally, which team do you see that has mastered that?
Islanders, they say it team years long. Right, fine, fair and fine. Yes, they are trying to cover everyone and include everyone else. Yeah, so yes, what we're saying. I mean, Liverpool.
Yeah, you've definitely showed which era.
The team years long. They've tried to copy the Liverpool spirit.
Yeah.
But my heart will tell you, Zimbabwe Saints. is the team for the nation.
You have already sold
because it speaks of the identity of the country. Yeah, and that's Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe Saints. Yes. Yeah, Islanders. Yeah, any team is Zwelonke. Yes, but it is yeah, it could be Zwelonke, Zambia.
But
Zimbabwe Saints is properly located. It speaks of Zimbabwe.
But they're now defunct.
No, Zimbabwe Saints is not defunct. Says who?
This one that is there is not the real.
Which town are you living in?
This one that is this one that is there is not the one.
Do you know Zimbabwe Saints is now in back to factory settings. It's not defunct. Okay, it's breathing.
Now it's just the name is Nkani.
No, he's playing football.
They just took the name, but the original Zimbabwe, we know what happened. You also know.
Yes, I know Zimbabwe Saints was relegated, and that's a fact. And it's also a fact that Zimbabwe Saints is alive. Zimbabwe Saints is kicking, and Zimbabwe Saints is actually playing. Watch this season. Yeah, let me sound the warning. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Division 1.
Yes, Division 1. Yes. And have you ever watched Division 1 football?
Yeah.
There's actually good quality football in Division 1.
Actually, this season we're planning to take this show to the grounds. Division 1 Premier League will be there when it happens.
Yes. I will tell you, Division 1 football, you can enjoy a game of football and see even your money's worth. And I'll tell you why. I think teams and players in Division 1 play out of their hearts because they want to make a statement. These are the crop of players who may not have had an opportunity to play in Premier League.
Many of them.
Because of the limited numbers, limited spots in Premier League teams.
Yes.
But we have more clubs in Division 1. So they are accommodating another group of talented players who just failed to make it into the Premier League. But if you look at the quality of football, I can bet you can actually enjoy a game of football by watching a Division 1 club or a Division 1 match. In some cases, more than a Premier Soccer League match.
I'll get to that. Let me take you back, where it all began, the love of football. Did it begin at an early age, or because in the beginning of the show, I already told my viewers that we went to Nkulumani Primary School right here in Popoma.
Yes.
I want to take you back to early childhood. When and where was Mr. Joseph Nkani born?
Born and bred in Bulawayo. I'm a Popoma boy. And my love for football started at a very tender age in the 70s. And I guess that should tell you my age.
Yeah.
If I started kicking football in my primary school days, and that was in the 70s, I can tell you I kicked football on the road, in the streets. I can tell you
Just the streets or
even tarred streets. I played football.
Because I know our 2Ks would be surprised.
They won't identify with that.
Because they are no longer tarred roads.
They are no longer tarred roads. But I remember playing football in the tarred road in our street.
Yeah.
And going home without a toenail.
I know the feeling.
You know the feeling, right?
I know it very well.
You would go home without a toenail because you tried to pack a shot and then you didn't align your feet properly, and then your nail grazed the tarmac, and then your nail peels off, and you are bleeding. And during that time, you wouldn't go home.
Because you know what
you would miss if you go home.
Yeah.
So what we then do is pour sand.
Exactly.
Pour sand on the toenail, right?
Yeah.
It will help with the clotting of the blood.
Fast.
Yes. Yeah. And then you rest a bit, and then when you think you are better off, you're feeling better, you can still go back onto the field, not the proper field, but now you are trying to use your other leg.
Yeah. And it helps you to kick the ball with both feet.
You then learn to use both your feet.
Yes.
Yeah. So I played football under those conditions, and we loved it.
Yeah.
One thing that people might not know is you would leave home in the morning, let's say around 9, team up with your boys. You go and play football in the streets. And you wouldn't go home for lunch.
From morning?
Yes, from morning till end of day.
Yeah.
And how do you sustain yourself at the time? All right. You would bet against your opponents. Even if you bet 1 cent, 5 cents, there was Izuga back in the days. That was 5 cents.
Yeah.
And then if you win, you would buy bread as a team.
Yeah.
You buy milk and you buy potato crisps. Potato crisps, you break the bread, you slice your bread using your hands, put potato crisps inside. It will be delicious.
Yeah.
And that will be your lunch break. Yes. And then thereafter, you go back onto the tarmac to play more games.
Playing more games, yeah.
Yes. Then, of course, there was another different environment where you would play in the park, Popoma Park.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know the Popoma Park. But that time, the security guards.
Yes.
Oh.
We used to call them Omadala.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you didn't call them Omadala. Omakokova.
Yeah, Omakokova,
yes. That's the right word.
Yeah, we got a term referring to the security guards, security officers from the city of Blawa.
Those Omadalas were a problem.
Yes, yeah. But yeah. Amahobo is a new name.
It's a new name. Makokova.
Yeah, it was Makokova or Omadala.
Yeah.
Yes. So we play in Popoma Park.
Because the parks were proper.
They were proper. But then, when you are playing at the park, it was a hide and seek. Because the city authorities did not allow us to play on the lawn.
Exactly.
Because they were maintaining it, watering it, trimming it. For people to just come, sit, read a book or play your music, sit under a tree. So we would abuse the facility by playing
of the city council.
So you would play making sure the goalkeeper is watching behind. Watching the action, but watching the behind to say, is there Madala,
the Makokova
coming? So when you see Makokova coming, you make sure you grab the ball and you run away. Interestingly, if your team was losing at the time, it's your loss.
say if it was 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever the scoreline.
Yes, if you are chased
the
out,
other team takes.
It's your loss. Yes,
the rules of English.
Yeah. So those are the times that I still reflect on, and they tell me of where I've come in terms of the love for the game.
This is primary school, eh?
This is primary school. Then another dimension, another era during our primary school days at Nkulumani Primary School, I remember very well, there used to be very active coaching programs that were introduced by sponsors at the time. I won't give you the names.
There's no problem if you can name them.
They didn't pay us for I'm a marketer, by the way. I know brand. Marketer. So I know issues of brand mentions and naming brands. If they didn't pay us, they should pay us for this.
We're encouraging brands. As I say, come on, brands. We're waiting for you.
It's a platform. It's a platform for people, for brands to be noticed. So during that time, we would have corporates sponsoring senior players at the time to go through schools, coaching boys and girls who play football. I remember very well being coached by the late Zimbabwe Saints midfield general, William Spanta, coming to Nkulumani Primary School, giving us coaching drills. And I remember one of the coaching drills that William Spanda taught us was issues to do with control, pass, turn, and run.
Not pass and move.
Yes, it was control, pass, and run in anticipation of a return pass. So those are some of the basics that I learned even from way back then. Control the ball, look up, look for a teammate, pass them, run into space, expect a return pass.
Exactly.
So we learned the concept of triangles at that early age.
William is coming from a professional level.
He was playing for Zimbabwe Saints at the time. Zimbabwe Saints senior team.
Yeah, I'm saying he's coming from a professional level down to the primary school.
But they were being deployed to come and coach primary school boys. The basic drills of football.
Which is something which
chest control, thigh control, foot control, all that we were taught at a very tender age by professionals playing Premier League at the time. It was called Super League at the time. And here we're talking about a big name like William Spanda. And that he was not the only one. I remember being coached by the legendary former Highlanders player and coach Barry Daka.
Barry Daka,
Yes, Gopangolapa. He used also to come, deployed by one of the corporates at the time, to come and drill the young boys how to play football, the basics of football. And I remember one of the drills that the late Barry Daka used to teach us was chest control and the volley. I learned that technique from Barry Daka. He will throw the ball at us according to your height. He will tell you to chest it and volley.
With your laces or your inner?
With your laces. Okay. With your laces, yes. Chest and you fire it away. And then the other drill that I remember very well was how he taught us to chest the ball on the turn. Like he will throw the ball at you facing you head on, and then he will teach you to control it with your chest, but turning, then fire a volley. So that was a striker's training drill.
This is interesting to me. Professional players coming down to primary schools,
yes,
being sponsored. Yes. Looking at nowadays, I know I've taken it back, but looking at nowadays, it's no longer there.
Yeah, sadly, it's no longer there. Yeah. And one might profile a number of reasons for that. One, maybe the corporates have shifted their priorities, maybe to their core business, and then they've abandoned their social corporate responsibility. Yes, and then they put sports development aside. But maybe also from another angle, it could be an issue to do with the sprouting of academies that have flooded the football space. Yeah, but either way, we cannot overrule or ignore the role of junior player development.
True.
As a nation, as a serious football nation, we cannot go anywhere without tapping into a 5-year-old player,
True.
into a 7-year-old player, into a 10-year-old player. And not only that, but also creating a database to say there is a 5-year-old player in Gwabalanda. His name is Joseph Nkani. Take that boy when he's 7 years old into their 10s, into their teens, until they develop into a professional football player at about 18 or 17 or whatever age they develop.
Yeah.
But essentially, that has been lost in our football, and it's very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Back to you growing up, you acquiring all these skills from the legends that you are mentioning at the time, at a primary school level. You continue into your secondary school playing football in Pogoma High School.
Yes, yes.
How was it back then? It's now, because I understand primary school it's in the 70s.
Yes, yes.
Now in the early 80s.
Early 80s, yeah, because I did Form 1 in 1981. Yes, yeah. I remember at the time, the calendar year at the time was corresponding with my form. So I was Form 1, 81. Form 2, 82. Form 3, 83.
So it's easy for you to remember.
Yeah, it's easy for me to remember. Yes, so it was the early 80s when I was doing my secondary school at Pogoma High School.
In the early 80s, how is the football set up now in secondary schools?
It was very interesting.
Because things changed drastically in our country. So I want to understand back then in your days.
Yes. I want you to note two major transitions for me during that time. So this is 1981, right?
Yeah.
In 1981, I'm doing Form 1, and that's Zimbabwe's 1-year independence.
By the way,
yes,
we were not yet born.
So here I am, born in Rhodesia. Now doing Form 1 at Pogoma High School, and still my love for the game grows and gets to another level. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we were at Pogoma High School, it was the first time where it became mandatory to play in football boots. At Nkulumane Primary, at the time they were trying to introduce football boots even at our age, but we were playing barefooted.
Maybe, yeah.
At that time, at primary school, we were playing barefooted. Yeah. And by the way, at primary school, there were 4 teams. They were what they were called the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st. Yeah, 1st was your senior. Yeah, the 4th was...
They were the open.
Yes. So I went through all those phases. Then now come to...
But you were not an open.
No. I fully complied.
You'll never be an open.
I fully complied with my age groups. Yeah.
You know why I'm saying you're never an open?
Yes.
Because of your academic.
Oh, okay.
That's where I
didn't see that coming.
I'll get to that. I'll get
But
to
yeah,
academics.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Let me rewind to the first, to my primary school.
Okay.
Primary school, I started playing on the right wing. Well, it's called right wing now because of the advancement and renaming or reconfigurations of football positions.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was called number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
Touchline.
Number 7, the role was receive the ball, run down the right channel. When you are at the edge of the box, right, that's the area around the corner flag, the edge of the 18 area, you square onto the penalty spot.
Yeah.
And then the number 9 will know what to do with it. Yeah, whether it's a high cross, it's a low cross, you have played your part.
Your part, yeah.
So we never used to have this idea of saying you can dribble inward. Yeah, the coaches or the teachers at the time would just tell you one route.
No pivots, no nothing.
Yeah,
just
receive the
stick
ball,
to the line.
Deal with your number 3, because your number 3 is your marker.
Is your marker, yeah.
Deal with him, eliminate him, go behind him, and then
those were interesting. Those are interesting. And it needed someone who was fit.
Yes.
Very fit.
Someone who was very skillful.
Yeah.
Was needed dribbling skills to eliminate your number 3 opponent.
Because he was always
yes. So deal with him, eliminate him, get behind him, and then also have the technique of crossing the ball. Right. And
I guess it was easy for you because of the professionals coming down.
Yeah. It was easy. I'll then send in the balls in, and then the number 9 would then bang them in. Then my coach at the time moved me.
Your coach or your teacher?
My teacher at the time. My teacher coach. But you know what? But at the time, our football teacher at the time in Nkani Primary School was actually doing professional football in Zimbabwe.
I wanted to get to that.
Interestingly, the teacher, I understand he's late now, and may he so rest in peace. He was Mr. Gwanoya.
Okay.
He was actually a professional referee in Zimbabwean football.
So he understood football.
He understood football. So he was our school teacher, yes, but also our football coach. And that man knew football. He used to tell us the real serious stuff about football. So he would then teach us how to eliminate the defender and then send in a cross and then finish.
You know why I said teacher?
Yes.
I had my former coach here sometime last of last week, Mr. Mapena. The episode is right there on the channel.
Yes.
He was also a professional coach. But us were coached by teachers at the primary level. And we used to say, I'm a teacher, I'm a par.
Yes.
But when we got to secondary school, we found him as the coach. Because now when you're talking about professional teachers at primary, I'm starting to wonder what really happened to.
Yes, yeah. From back then, what I understand is they would go for training as coaches, but it was not only exclusive to football.
So the teacher was very interesting, eh?
So they will go for training as teachers. They will go for training where they are trained on sports coaching.
They were ahead of their time.
So you find that he will take you through athletics. He will take you through
the physical
football.
fitness.
Yes, physical fitness as well. You try to run back and forth or run around the track. Yeah. But then it was a way of the system at the time to empower school coaches to develop players in different fields. It could have been in athletics, it could have been in football, like in our case.
Maybe that's why back then we had quality footballers.
Quality footballers, because they will go through the mill, they'll be grilled. Yes.
But at tender age.
Yeah, things have evolved. Yeah.
Let's go back to Mpoma High School.
So, before we go there,
the
teacher then moved me from right wing to the center.
You were telling me about
this. To the number 9. Number 9 at the
striking position.
Who we call gunman at the moment.
Yeah.
There I was, now I was playing for the first team. I'm number 9. And I tell you, I used to bang goals from Nkani Primary School. I was banging goals. I'll be honest with you. If you would hear that Nkani Primary School played against Pumelelo Primary School,
better Pumelelo, not Nkani.
They were part of our stable.
No.
Yes, yeah.
There's a reason why I'm saying better Pumelelo, not Nkani.
I'll tell you a story about that as well. You would hear that if Nkani Primary School lost 3-1, the one goal will be scored by Joe. I remember that time at Nkani Primary School, we had one. I think it was a lab assistant or a workshop assistant. And incidentally, he was a son to our headmaster, Mr. Mnyama, at the time. He was also Mr. Mnyama Jr. I remember him calling me Mr. Goals. He named me Mr. Goals after Shekitaoro.
That's the people that we always hear about.
And Shekitaoro used to bang goals for fun for Caps United.
So I hear.
Yes. So that's the time I was also banging goals from Kulmani Primary School.
Bang them for fun.
And the teams that we used to play against at the time were Gambu Primary School, Lukaniso Primary School.
The best there is.
No ways. I remember scoring against Lukaniso Primary School at Lukaniso. Yes. And then there was Mpumelelo Primary School. So those were the 4 schools in our zone.
Yeah.
And then we'll also play, if you proceed from that group, of course, you play against other district teams. I remember playing against Ntuta. And then
your memory seems very, very sharp. You remember things vividly. During that time, which players that you remember moved from primary school and played professionally? So that maybe there are those that are watching that know.
Oh yes. Yeah, during my time, when we were still young boys, you will have players like your Mishek Spanda, the late Mishek Spanda, because also was a Puma boy and went to Nkurumane Primary School. You talk of your Joseph Machingulas.
Hey, legendary.
The legendary Rezaman. Yeah. Those were players that we also looked up to. And then, of course, there is your British Douglas Mloi. Yes, the legendary
still around.
Center back, number 5.
Which school did you went to?
Yeah, he went to Mpumelelo.
Not Lucas.
Yes, yeah. I could be wrong, but I strongly believe that British Douglas Mloi went to Mpumelelo Primary School. Yeah. And those were the legends of the game who went on to play professional football. Even
they played during your time.
Yes. Yeah. So then when I moved to Mpopma High School now for my secondary school, like I said earlier, 81. That's when we then made to play football in football boots. It became mandatory at the time that we meant to be exposed to play in football boots. I remember the first pair of boots that I even wrote my name under it, given by the school. It was, you won't find that around anymore. It was called an Onitsuka. I don't know where it came from.
I know the famous brands that were there back then. It was the Puma and the Adidas.
They've been legends of the game.
Yeah.
And Onitsuka boot had 2 stripes that it will be 1 stripe starting from the heel, and then it will go and split, and then it will drop down to your sole, and then there will be a stripe for your laces.
Was it not the high cut? Because back then we'll see pictures of.
No, it didn't. It was a local.
A local.
It was a local. Yeah, it was called an Onitsuka.
Things were now changing. Yeah.
And it was black.
No colors.
No colors. Colors came now. Colors are a new phenomenon. Yeah. They were black boots, and you would, after a game, you would actually apply shoe polish.
Shoe polish, yeah.
Yes.
That was the order of the time.
You would apply shoe polish, unlike now where we wash off. Yeah. But at the time, you would apply shoe polish, dry them on the sun, and then before a game, you polish them nicely, you push the lashes on, and then you are ready for the game.
So in Mpopma High School, you played all the levels?
Yes, because I started playing up to the senior. And there were only 2 teams at the time. Yeah, there was a junior team and a senior team. There were not many teams like in primary. You would have only 2 teams. Yeah, a junior team and a senior team. Yeah, and I remember during that time when I was in Form 1, they were at our school. There were legends like Ephraim Chawanda.
I know Ephraim. I know Ephraim Chawanda.
He was a defender.
Played for Saints, eh?
Yes. He was a defender for Mpopma High School. And I could be wrong. Ephraim Chawanda used to put on jersey number 3. Yeah, I'm sure if he's watching, will correct me. But
back at school, you used to have that number, eh?
Yes.
I think it's the one that you also wore national team.
Yeah, no, it was number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah, national team. Even at Saints, he was number 5. Yes. Then there was Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel Swanda. Of course, he also played for Zimbabwe Saints at some point, but he didn't play for too long. Those were my seniors at Mpopma High School. Yes.
Those were the people that you looked up to.
Yes. Then before we go beyond that, at Boma High School, there was a derby whenever we played against Msiteli. Yes. And who was at Msiteli? You had your Garikai Rodzi, Zimbabwe Saints defender. You had the legendary goalkeeper John Sivanda in goals from Msiteli. And then they are playing against our seniors, Yoroki Chawanda. Yes, they will meet at Zimbabwe Saints, but at school they are playing against each other. Yes, it was quite an explosive, a very interesting scenario.
Now I know why you like Zimbabwe Saints. Or Zimbabwe Saints was that big during that time?
People don't know that Zimbabwe Saints is arguably one of the top 3 teams in Zimbabwe. And I'll build a case on that. Back in the day, teams that were there, the big teams were, let me start with Zimbabwe Saints, just for good measure. Zimbabwe Saints was one of the top teams. Then you have your Highlanders, one of the top teams. Then you have your Dynamos, one of the top teams. Then throw in Cape United. Even up to now, yes, Cape United is still there. But you wouldn't mention top 4 teams in Zimbabwe without mentioning Zimbabwe Saints. You would not have completed the story. Yes, Zimbabwe Saints was one of the big giants of Zimbabwe.
I guess
football.
After school, you also wanted to play for Zimbabwe Saints.
Yes, actually, yes, I tried my luck with Zimbabwe Saints. Being a Popoma boy, there was one of the Zimbabwe Saints players. He was called Joseph. Joe Sawa. No, not Machingura. Yeah, Joe Sawa was his name. So he would also try and mobilize us as boys from his hood to go to Zimbabwe Saints.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would go to Zimbabwe Saints training sessions, and at the time we were training at Nguboyenja field. Yeah, behind the bus stop. Yeah. And at the time there was Coach Jani, who was coaching the Zimbabwe Saints juniors. Yes. Yeah, so I tried my luck as well. Of course, I played a few games for Zimbabwe Saints juniors. Yes. But I then didn't progress to the age groups and also play for the senior team, simply because my parents discouraged me from continuing with playing football. They wanted us to prioritize education. Yes, yeah. And it's one of the stories that I always look back and say, had I been given an opportunity to play full-time football, I think I could be somewhere. Now. Yeah, I think
you would have continued with the name Mr. Goals.
Yes, I would have continued with Mr. Goals, and you never know where I would have ended. And a lot of people actually say that I would have probably played overseas beyond Zimbabwe. Yes, but I didn't get that leadership. I didn't get that management. I didn't get that motivation. I can tell you, I never got football boots from my parents, except for my uncle, who was a keen football player. He's the only one who would buy football boots for me.
You've just answered the question that I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask, how then did you balance your education and your football during the time?
It was difficult, but look, if you're a football person, you are always going to exhibit your addiction to football. You will always find a way of sneaking out and going to play with the boys. But then I never then played professional football. The best that I remember was playing for Nagbu Sebus, which was a Division 1 team at the time.
Okay.
And we were coached by Utavo. I know Utavo is one of my favorite football friends.
Tabo?
Yeah. Coach Tabo, we called him Coach Tabo, and we're training at Inyati. Yeah. So that would be the best that I did in terms of playing football. Yeah, serious football. Yeah. But then I was then restricted just playing football for fun over a weekend, and not really doing much in terms of football. But my love for the game did not die.
Fast forward to, I don't want to say now, to 2021 or 22, where you started now being a serious professional soccer pundit on the national broadcaster. That's ZBC. Is it 2021?
No, it's beyond that. It's before that.
It's before that.
Before that, yeah. Well, I've been doing work for ZBC as a pundit, commentator since before COVID. I remember COVID disrupting football, and we stopped that. And it's been like 6 years now to date, doing work as a freelance for the national broadcasters at TV. Doing analysis and punditry.
That's when I started saying, this guy knows football. Because to tell you what, people will laugh at this. I've only known Charles Mabeka and Steve Vickers.
Right.
They're the people that I said I looked up to in terms of really knowing football. When we used to watch ZPC, there were no serious pundits, if I might say, during that time. But when I saw you, I said,
Oh, thank you.
I started taking notice, and I said, one day, this is a dream come true, actually.
Oh,
yeah, because
thank you.
You knew your stuff. You could take a viewer to stay glued to the screen, listening the way you analyze football. That's when I said, this person might have probably played football. Let me do my research and find out. Then I found out that I said, show. So how is that work? You probably played football, maybe not professionally, but you analyze the game like a person who really played professionally. How is that punditry? Is it punditry?
Yes.
Punditry is the right way there. How is that work?
I'm enjoying it. I'll be in my groove. I'll be in my space because football is in me. I follow football. I love football. I'm addicted to football, and
it's so easy to tell.
I'm immersed in football.
I can see now the passion.
And it has also made people ask me a lot of questions on how I balance that with home or with family.
And work as well.
Yes, and work as well. But I always tell people that no, you don't need to worry about me. My family knows that I was a footballer first before I was a husband. So there's no conflict. So from day one, my wife knew that I'm going to live with this guy who is a football addict.
Proper.
Yes. Because I make no apologies. I mean, I love football. I'm addicted to football. I follow football. I watch football.
It's so
and I
easy
still play football. Social. I still play five-a-side. I still play social football. I always tell people that. I always ask people to say, how does one retire from football? I don't believe that. You don't retire from football.
The legs, Mr. Nkani.
You retire from professional football.
Yeah.
You don't retire from
football. Yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You only retire from professional football, from playing professional football, but not from football. Because football is a lifestyle. You live football.
Eat, breathe football throughout.
Yeah. So the punditry thing, with ZTV, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. And
how is it working with the legendary Charles Mabeka?
He's a jolly good fella. Yeah, we have worked with him for years now. He's a very rich resource of knowledge.
He's a football encyclopedia.
Very much, You need any information, CNN is your plug. So I've also enjoyed working with him. I've also enjoyed working with Stanley Katsande.
But I did not enjoy Stanley Katsande's analysis at all.
Well, remember, we don't have to agree.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
So those are the names. Your Valentine Mabugus. He's a Blawa boy as well, and a host of others that we work with. But it's been fun. I'm enjoying it.
Like someone who watches a lot of local football, they've got vast knowledge about Zimbabwean football. How is the state of our football looking? Like you have spoken about Zimbabwe Saints, your Capes United, your Islanders back then in the days. It's now 2025. How is the state of our football compared to back then during your playing days?
Yeah, I know some people may not like what I'm about to say, but
They don't have to, as we said before.
we don't have to agree.
They
We don't have to agree,
yeah.
yes, on anything, on everything. Sadly, our football has gone down in Zimbabwe. And I'll try and explain the certain key areas which I think we have lost it. Number one, the quality of the player who we say is playing our top-notch football in the Premier League, for me, is not as refined as the player who we watched playing either Super League at the time and Premier League at the time, let's say even in the 80s.
Your Moses Chungas.
Yes. If you look at the fabric we have now, certainly the standard has gone down. I always even point it out when we're watching football in Zimbabwe at the moment. You can tell that that player is struggling with basic ball control. Basic ball control. He hasn't done anything with the ball.
Remember the issue that we talked about when professional footballers will come and teach you in primary school.
To say when the ball is coming at you and you are meeting it, how do you address your body? How do you move your body so that your body cushions the bounce of the ball? Whereas these days there are some players in the Premier League who have professional contracts who don't know how to move their bodies to cushion the ball so that the ball bounces on them and it doesn't go far away from them. I always say it's like the ball bounced off the wall. But it's a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. During our time, we'll be told that when the ball is coming your way and it's about to get to you, you somehow withdraw. If it's your leg, if it's your feet, you pull it back so that when the ball comes in, it's cushioned. It doesn't bounce back
like a magnet.
Yes, it doesn't argue.
Yeah.
With your limb, whether it's a chest, with your thigh, with your feet. Those things, even up to now, I still worry and say, guys, is this player Premier League material? But of course, we do have great players. Let me please don't get me wrong here. Mm-hmm. We also do have quality football players playing our Premier League at the moment. But what we're saying is the numbers somehow seem to be declining of quality, refined players. Then another area.
Okay.
Look at our top goal scorers these years. Right now in Zimbabwe, a top goal scorer, you'll hear that he's got 12 goals.
11, 12, yeah, that's the number.
In a season.
Yeah.
In a season with 18 teams.
Yeah.
You are playing against 17 opponents.
Yeah.
And you are a top goal scorer with 11, 12, 13, 15 goals.
Yeah, like the current top goal scorer is at about 12.
Let's stretch it right. Let's say there are 18 teams right now. Mm-hmm. So you are playing against 17 opponents. And you are playing twice against those 17 opponents.
34 games.
34 games. You are giving us 17 goals. And you are a top goal scorer.
17 is too much. 12.
Yes. So in other words, both home and away against one opponent, you are giving us 1 goal. And at the end of the year, we are giving you an award. But back then, talk of Moses Chunga, a midfielder. Moses Chunga was not a striker.
Okay.
He was a midfielder. But banging in goals. Then we talk of Shekitawa. Of course, Shekitawa was a mystic goals, was a proper number 9. Both the head and feet will give you a feast of goals.
Not like Makwinji. We only use this head.
Yes, Makwinji, Kopo, yes. But then, those guys will give you more goals. Their goals ratio was richer than the goals ratio we are seeing today. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, definitely our football has gone down. I've heard people giving an argument that we are seeing fewer goals these days because of good defensive systems. I'll ask a question. Mm-hmm. Right. Are you telling me that our coaches today
they only concentrate on defense?
No.
No.
Then let's review our coaching curriculum.
Yeah.
Let's review our coaching curriculum. If a coach will spend the week coaching his players to defend and not score, that means the philosophy has changed to say, guys, let's go in today and let's not lose.
Let's just defend.
Yes, let's not lose.
But what I know is the best way to defend is to attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the philosophy of football is outscore your opponents.
Simple.
Yes, outscore your opponents. Of course, there's no difference between winning 10-9 and winning 1-0.
The 3 points.
The 3 points are there.
Yeah.
Yes. But we scored 10 goals and conceded 9.
And the fans had fun.
Fans at 9, at fun.
Yeah.
Yes. But then the philosophy now seems to have changed then to say, guys, play safe, be cautious, don't lose, don't leak goals at the back, we'll be good with a draw, we'll go home. But no. Who is our top goal scorer and how many goals has the top goal scorer in the land given us? And remember,
currently it's Lino, 12 goals.
Fans come to soccer matches to celebrate goals.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. They come in, they want to go home and shout, "Goal!" And then they go home. Yeah. How many goal shouts do they have before they go home? So that's what we're saying. Let's give the fans that.
You also mentioned Douglas Mlo, a defender who also used to bang goals.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. He had a very rock head. You know that
So
whenever
basically,
he featured up front, Douglas Mlo and even Rocky Chawanda. I remember this, as Mabwe saying at the time, we know that if it's a corner kick, Chawanda runs on the far post, we know that, yeah,
something's about to happen. So basically, the standard is drastically gone down. But we have now science also being introduced into the game.
Yes.
Yet back then,
there was no science. Yes, agreed. That's a fact. That's a point, though. But it's not a point that validates our mediocrity today. Because football is not played by machines.
Yeah.
Football is not played by science.
It's played by human beings.
By human beings using scientific methodology.
Yes.
Yes. Then, if you look at the other argument that people give us is there was no social media back then for us to appreciate the quality of the game in the land. Yes, fair point. But we still had print media to tell us the stories. You would hear that in Wange, there's a Roderick Simwanza who's causing problems.
Yeah.
You would hear that in Shabani, there is someone, a player causing problems. You would hear that in Mangura, they are the Chiesa brothers who are causing problems. You see?
And you will know these players.
You know these players. When they are coming to your town, you'll actually look forward to seeing them.
Yes.
But you hope they don't punish your team, your local team.
Yeah.
But then, one point that people should then know is, if you didn't watch old day football, and you're only exposed to modern day Zimbabwean football, you wouldn't understand what we are talking about.
Yeah, true.
Yes. But if you were fortunate like us, who watched the football in the 70s, football in the 80s, and you know the diet that is being fed today, you definitely see that the scales have tilted in some direction. But if you only know 2000 football, then you cannot really argue.
Yeah.
That's all you know.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why I was amazed when you were talking about professionals coming down to the primary schools to teach the young boys.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. Now you could watch a player, as well, rightfully saying it. I always worry when I watch football these days, people praising a player who can't even control.
That's the best they have. That's the best you have. Yeah. You know what? Look at it this way. If someone is starving, right? They starvation, right? If you give them porridge, they'll celebrate.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't know that there is a proper sadza, ischwala.
Yeah, exposure is very
But if you give them porridge, they will celebrate because they are starved. Giving them a bowl of porridge, they will think that's the best meal in the world.
Yeah.
And then there is proper stwala, there is proper potatoes, there is proper pizza. Well, there's food.
The Chinese table food is also there.
Yes, yeah. So when someone doesn't really know what we watched back then and they are seeing what is being served today and then they celebrate it, fine, you can't blame them. That's what they are exposed to. That's what they know. That's their porridge.
I've had this argument with Abadala, like yourselves, telling us about Makwinji, Moses Chunga.
Yes.
Then I tried to compare with the players that we have now.
Yes.
You talked about social media. There was no social media back then. But someone in Wange would know about Moses Chunga.
Yes.
Now, I don't even know so many players, so many only come a billiard because the exposure or been exposed to South African football than our local football.
Yes.
That's why we have this show, so that we try and resuscitate our football, so that we get the football to our people. So my point is, back then, no social media, nothing whatsoever, only print and radio, maybe a bit of TV.
And TV at the time, there used to be what was called Game of the Week.
Local football.
Local football.
Yeah.
ZBC will give us what they call Game of the Week. It used to be run on a Wednesday evening.
Okay.
They will be screening one previous game
from
the
Saturday
previous
or Sunday.
weekend.
Yeah.
But then the game was edited into 1 hour of airtime.
Okay.
It was not. They were not going to give you the full 90
minutes.
Yeah, they'll give you the 1 hour of that game. So there were certain aspects that they will then take off, the redundant moments. Yeah, but that was the only soccer dosage on TV locally at the time, and it would run on a Wednesday evening.
My point was, I'm in agreement when you say so, because football, we should be known players that are causing havoc in the Premier League, like back then. With this argument about the soccer stars of the year, back in the days, I would know even the substitutes, the first 11 of the soccer stars, without even arguing, saying so and so is not supposed to be in the calendar. But today, there is so much arguments. So I can really see that football is really gone down. Yet there is so much exposure. We've got TV, we've got social media. And so a football player can walk in the streets without people identifying.
Yes.
That's it's so wrong.
Yes.
Yet back in the days, people would scream for a football player. Yet there was no social media, nothing. It tells a different story.
Yes, it does. What has seemed to have advanced in terms of local football is other elements around football. Okay, for an example, the commercialization of the game. Yeah, fine, we may not have the number of sponsors we think we should have in football, but we're saying in terms of the professionalism in the game, administratively, in some cases, has improved. Yeah, we spoke about now soccer listens and acknowledges the input of sports science, sports medicine, sports administration, right? That has advanced. We are now somewhere. And also, even in terms of branding of the teams, the commercial side of football is also improved. Because remember, back then, popular players at the time were playing for fame. And they would play football as a part-time. You would hear that a player X works for the railways. And after work, they go for training. Yeah, between 6 and half 7 or 6 and 8. And then they go home and then they repeat that same routine. So the professionalism aspect, yes, I would say we've gone somewhere. We've improved. And even if you look at our technical benches, they have been enhanced with proper qualified technical experts sitting on our benches. Yeah. So we're not really saying football has gone dead as it were, but we're just talking about
on the field of play,
the texture of the football that we consume these days. Yeah, that's what we're lamenting. But other aspects of the game, we still have something that we can still celebrate and enjoy.
Yeah, you're now based in the capital. A lot of changes are happening. How do I phrase this question? There are these teams of Mbingas coming from that side where I'm now based. Are they coming to improve the game, or like we talk of right here in Bulawayo, there are no Mbingas? We're now seeing the difference in the gap of, say, for example, Scotland. They're now taking over, because you talked about traditional giants, Islanders, your Caps United. Now the shift is shifting to the team of the Mbingas, your Moors.
Yes.
How do you see these coming up of these teams into our local space? Are they coming to improve the game or otherwise? Because we've got stories of our sporting lions that came with that same mentality. They're now history. Yeah, they're now history.
Your Amazulus,
the
Tapas, yes.
They're now history.
All right, I'll put it in no uncertain terms. Personally, I welcome big money big teams into our football. Right, and I've actually said this even in another forum. And why so? Right, what is football? When we talk about football, what are we talking about? What is football? Football is a business. Football is an industry. Football is a career. So when we have investors coming in to invest in football, for me, that's capital injection. So I truly and honestly welcome the phenomenon that we are seeing in football. Let's rewind. Not so long ago with the Platinum teams, Ngezi Platinum and FC Platinum, they came into town, and what did they do? They caused problems for opponents, and they are still there. Fine, one might argue and say they are being sponsored by Mines. Fine, what's wrong with that?
No problem.
No problem. Yeah, we don't care where the money is coming from.
Yeah.
We are saying we are seeing the money. And in any case, who's sponsoring Liverpool? Who's sponsoring Man United? Who's sponsoring Chelsea? We don't know where those guys getting their money. Why? It's not really our business.
It's not our business,
Yeah. Our business starts on when they're putting the money into the team coffers and say, guys, run a soccer team. So I'm saying I truly welcome the coming in of the money big teams. Like I was saying, they were the Platinum teams. Ngezi Platinum and FC Platinum. They came in and what did they do? And in their less than 5 years of coming in, I think they've won a league title. Both of them.
Platinum has won quite a number.
Yes. But I'm saying even I'm looking at the time they came in and the time it took them to win.
Yeah.
Yes, short period of time.
Simba Bora only one season.
Then Simba Bora only one season in, they're kicking goals in like anyone's business and they are winning the league title. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And then now we have Scotland, who is coming to town. And of course, they've signed all and sundry, the cream of the cream of the land. Yes, that's a different argument altogether. But we are saying, as a concept, as a model, I welcome that money. Why? Number one, players who are the product of football that we go to pay and watch are professional players.
Yeah.
They need to be recognized. They need to be paid.
Proper.
They need proper contracts. They need proper remuneration. They need to be recognized. So why are they flooding to Scotland? It's their business. It's their job. It's their career. Right? If we can have another Scotland 2, which is based in Masvingo, based in Mutare, or Scotland 7, or based in Wange, wherever, and they are coming in, they are pouring in money into the game. The player who is the core product of football gets due reward for their effort. But guys, let's sympathize with the players. Their careers are short.
Very short.
Let them maximize their period of active occupation. And then number 2, we then have an effect of other teams in the league being challenged to shape up or ship out.
Yeah.
So this is an open word to whether it's Dynamos, it's Cape United, it's Highlanders. In fact, I'm happy with the coming in of Scotland because it shakes the other teams to wake up. Where they are going to get the money, it's up to them. How do they do it? They have to create a product that attracts money.
Yeah.
And then that product is about running an institution. That product is about running and giving the public something that they can look forward to and enjoy when they come to Emakumeni or at Rufaro Stadium.
Like this is people are anxious.
Yes.
This season, people, I've heard people saying, I can't wait for Scotland to come to
yes.
But now...
And before you go further, right? Yeah. Do you know why people are saying we can't wait for Scotland to come to town? Right? If it's Highlanders people, they are saying we can't wait for Scotland to come to town so that we beat them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Already we are saying that fixture is sold out.
Exactly. Before the season starts.
Before the season starts, we are saying that those tickets are sold out. Yeah, that's another thing we can talk about. They just say that fixture right now we're speaking of is sold out already. And that's good for the game.
Yeah.
That's good for the game. So the reason why people are saying we can't wait for Scotland to come to town, it means that's good football. for football. It means we are talking about that fixture before it's even. We don't even know when it's going to come.
No, the fixtures are out.
Have been out. Yes.
I think it's week
4.
Yeah, week 4.
Yes. So we are saying that's good for football. Yes. We don't want to be in a situation where we have no anticipation. We are not looking forward to any fixture.
Yeah.
It becomes boring.
Yeah.
So then 2-3 days before the game, we then get to know, oh, there's a big game this weekend. No, we don't want that.
We have already touched on something that I also wanted to talk about. Preseason tickets. That's a culture that's not there.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. We're still far from that, and I don't think
as a chartered marketer, how best can we try and make sure that we get this system to work in our favor, having like preseason tickets, having that to make the game more marketable.
Yes. What we need to understand now, I'm speaking as a marketer, but okay, speaking from in a football space. Clients or customers or buyers look for something that they will see value in for them to spend their money.
Yes.
At the moment, is our football product sellable to the market? Many factors come into play when we say football.
Yeah.
I always argue and say, guys, sadly in our football, we still regard football as a 90-minute event.
Ish.
We're looking at a fixture.
That's one big problem.
That's a problem,
right?
And that's a misnomer.
Yeah.
Yes. So now I'm challenging teams to say, by the way, I also do consultancy for teams.
As you should.
I can help.
Yeah.
I can help guys to say, how can we reshape our product, our football product as a team?
Yes.
So I'm saying, guys, don't look at football as a 90-minute product.
Because it's not.
It's not.
Because right now we're already talking about week 4 of Scotland versus Ireland.
Yes.
That's an event already.
Let's create the anticipation. Let's create the excitement for people to say, guys, I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for the weekend. I want to be at Barberfield.
Yes.
But before I get to Saturday at Barberfield, where am I? Right now, what opportunity do I have now to interact with the player from Highlanders? There's no opportunity.
Yeah.
Right now, what can I do now if I want to interact with the brand Highlanders? Do I have to go to the Highlanders clubhouse? Do I have to go to the Highlanders sports club?
Ish.
Or to their offices? Is there anything that Highlanders can do for me, for us in the community, that I can actually say, on Tuesday, we are going to Machamklope, but there's an event by Highlanders? It's not there.
It's not there.
So we are saying, guys, let's come up with an ecosystem that says there's always something to do, there's always something to talk about, there's always something to engage me as a Highlanders fan, as a Cape United fan, midweek. There's something happening at the clubhouse. There's something that I need to do at the clubhouse midweek. So I'm saying essentially, in short, let's not treat football as a 90-minute activity, because it's not.
It's not.
Football is a lifestyle. So let's come and create a product that then ensures people are always glued to your favorite football club, to your favorite sport, football at large. And then at the end of the day, we create a product that is palatable, we create a product that is attractive, we create a product that is on demand. Once the product is on demand, you then realize that
we're attracting corporates
as well. We then realize that if I don't buy my ticket today for next weekend or for the entire season, I'm dead. I'll miss out. So that then brings in the concept of buying seasonal tickets. It comes from a demand perspective. Someone would have realized that if I don't secure my seat at Anfield,
I miss out.
If I don't secure my seat at Emagumeni, if I don't secure my seat at Mandava, at Rufaro Stadium, at Shamba Stadium, I'll miss out. So that means I need to secure my seat. You have someone buying. We can even start small, guys. Monthly tickets. There's nothing wrong with that. We can start with that.
Absolutely.
To say, guys, I know my fixtures this week. We are playing 2 home games, 2 away games. Right, guys, how can I get tickets for our away game?
And the Premier League has done so well by now giving us.
They've released the fixtures. Yes.
Already.
So we now know that on the 30th of this date,
you can easily plan.
Yes, I can even plan my trip. Can we go maybe a day earlier, find a place to sleep, and then maybe that also promotes tourism. That fits into the sports tourism concept.
Yes.
You say whenever there's a football match, it's not about 90 minutes. It's an ecosystem that fits into football and also fits off football. and then everyone gets a slice.
Exactly.
Of the cake
Hey,
of football.
that's so rich, Mr. Nkani. And I now understand the chartered marketer is coming out right there. Let's talk about finally our national team.
Yes.
Michael Onez comes into the fold, done wonderfully.
Yes.
Qualified the team to the AFCON. Do we see us progressing to the World Cup? Because looking at the log, I think we've got a chance mathematically.
Mathematically, we've got a chance, but I wouldn't want us to think or go that far. I'm simply saying let's manage our expectations. Let's manage our objectives. Right now, if you look at AFCON, we've done well. We've qualified for AFCON, and of course, we're in the group, in the SADC group.
The SADC group,
with Egypt as a guest, as a guest team.
Yeah.
But we're saying let's focus on that and build blocks as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not start talking about World Cup for now. It would be nice to get that far. But at the same time, we also do not go there and embarrass ourselves. We, from the heart, we want to play against Brazil.
Yes.
We want to play against Germany.
The best in the world.
Yes. But I think let's be cautious. Let's look at what we can do, and let's be realistic. Because right now, as we speak, remember, we haven't really conquered AFCON.
Yes.
As Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
We've been qualifying
trying to
make the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like right now with us, we know we're going to play only 3 games at AFCON. We can actually book our return ticket before the game starts.
Yeah.
So
but one might argue with the quality of players that we have now. Look at, we've got now Marshall Mnetsi moving to Wolverhampton. We've got players scattered all around Europe now.
Yes.
There's something that's happening in Zimbabwe. I hope the coming in of the newly elected members, like the president of the ZIFA, they might take our game to another level. Because in terms of players, we've got players.
Yes. You know what? Maybe let me also take this opportunity to extend hearty congratulations to Mobile Magwizi for being elected ZIFA boss, and of course his executive, which includes Nkani and the entire team. Congratulations. What I want to point out is the excitement that has been galvanized around our football in Zimbabwe. From the administrative side, with a new ZIFA board, with a new coach, Michael Nis, who has done us well, and with a new, well, not a new team, but a new exciting crop of players who have renewed energy in the current squad. So, which is pointing to us having good reason to anticipate a good showing at AFCON come December this year, which is fine. That's a good space. Let's deal with AFCON
first.
Yes, and then we deal with World Cup as we go. So I like the energy that is currently engulfing our nation in Zimbabwe as a football community. I like the energy, I like the anticipation, and I like the hope that we are in. We're in a bubble right now of hope, anticipation, and excitement, which I think we should not dilute, we should not burst, but make sure we see it through and enjoy our game at AFCON in Morocco come December. This year.
Yes. What can you look forward to the new Premier as we close?
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I know the spotlight is currently on Scotland.
Scotland and Simba.
Yes, Scotland and Simba, and then of course the Platinums as well. But
Moors.
Moors. Moors. Came in a courtesy of an arrangement. It's a PC Caribbean. That's fine. But I want to warn people. Scotland will come in, yes, with the bling, with the glitz, with the glamour. But it's not a guarantee
that they win.
Yes. Why? Because the other teams will come in and say, let's spoil their party.
Because they've taken most of our players.
Yes. And remember, these players know each other
very well.
It will be grudge matches. They will be playing to say, okay, you can have the bag, you can have the cash, but I've got the 3 points. So take what you want.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to a great season, and there is every good reason for us to anticipate a good season. Come game one of the Premier Soccer League, and it's going to be exciting. Prepare for shocks, prepare for new talent, prepare for setbacks, prepare for the scripted and the unscripted. Anything is possible, but I just hope we won't have distractions like things like crowd trouble or things like referees being men of the match. We don't want that.
That is a good point. I'm not ruling that out. I'm not ruling that one out.
So let's have players shining.
Instead of
I like what new President Magwizi said when he was giving a briefing to the PSL community, where he said, we don't want to read about administrators in the sports pages. He says we want to read about the players.
Because at the end of the day, it's about it.
Yes. Which for me is actually a good message to us. To say, let's not know more about match officials. Let's not know more about office bearers behind the scenes. Let's know more about the player who kicks the ball. Let's get to know more about the player who runs onto the football pitch, and then they have an opportunity to showcase their talent, let them explore themselves, express themselves, and be who they are meant to be, and let's not mess up their careers.
That's so profound. So what are we doing this year? I will continue with yourself. I'm talking about you. I will continue with your work at ZPC.
Yes.
Also writing.
Yes.
I understand you write for print media as well.
Yes, I've also do some freelance articles as a guest writer. Yes, for the local newspapers, where I've shared my opinions, strong ones, on different matters that we find in our game. Certainly, that work will continue. Yes, I'll continue to have conversations with the football fraternity, be it on electronic media or in print media, as well as on this show. It won't be my last. I'm inviting myself.
Definitely. You're always welcome. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Mr. Joseph Nkani. Look out for him on ZPC TV as your pundit, and also on print media. Also, is it Herald?
I've also done pieces for Herald. I've also done pieces for the Chronicle.
Yes. Look out for those articles as well. As we say, ciao. See you next time.
Welcome to Benaya Foods, your trusted supermarket where quality meets affordability. From everyday essentials to beauty products, we have got you everything you need under one roof. But that's not all. We take pride in producing our own high-quality mealie meal and nutritious soya beans, ensuring you get the best straight from us to your table. With great prices, friendly service, and a commitment to excellence, shopping has never been this easy. Step in today and experience convenience like never before. Benaya Foods, the Royal Pantry.